All right, guys, we're going to be looking at the Helldivers patch. Came out yesterday. This patch 01.002.101. Quick overview is spray weapons gas effect duration has been increased. You can now emote while you are being flung or you're ragdolling, but the catch is you still take full damage now. They just thought it was funny to add that in. They also said they did some FRV camera changes and handling tweaks to make it more cinematic. I'm all down for that. The guard dog with the dog breath got a rework so that it's hitting enemies further away now and trying to kind of stay out of your space. We'll have to test that out and see how that works. Because before it was pretty bad where, I loved using it. It was funny, but you basically just spray yourself the entire time you have it. And then we got some balancing crash fixes, weapon fixes, and things like that. So let's take a look. They changed the gas status effect, not from stratagems, but from spray weapons, which I suppose are still stratagems. But when an enemy gets gassed, it's going to last 10 seconds instead of 6 seconds. A 4-second increase is pretty significant, I would say. And I don't know if you've used gas much, but it's really effective. Then they implemented a timer for the Illuminate dropship wreckages to despawn to prevent them from obstructing paths. So I don't know if you've ever seen that, but they stack up pretty dang high. So hopefully they get rid of those quickly. Let's see. Ministry of Humanity has added a clause that allows posture for safe lifting, now allowing Helldivers to jog while carrying two-handed items such as barrels or sieve artillery rounds. So that's awesome. You don't have to juggle them anymore. You can just grab them and run. That also works for the explosive barrels, but I think the sieve artillery rounds, that's where it's really going to be a big change that I think we'll all love. Let's see. The FRV Helldivers are now authorized to deploy grenades and stratagems while leaning out of the fast recon vehicle. That's really cool. I think it is going to give us a lot more cinematic scenes, a lot more action. I'm pretty excited about that. I don't think the FRV really gets enough use. I only see it once in a while. So hopefully we get to see more of it. And they made the handling better going around corners, which is cool. Sidearms. This one I didn't quite understand. So starting magazines increased from 2 to 3. So I'm assuming that means your sidearm will have 3 magazines when you start instead of 2. But your spare magazines is increased from 4 to 5. And I thought all of your extra magazines were spare magazines. So help me out there in the comments, and maybe somebody else understands this a little bit better. But either way, increase in magazines for your sidearms, that's always a good thing because they're always running out. All right, now we got the stratagem support weapon, the sterilizer. This is the weapon that is like the flamethrower, but it shoots the gas. Really cool weapon. Great support weapon, I would say, because you're not trying to kill things. You're trying to keep things from killing your team. It basically blinds and distracts and causes friendly fire among the enemies. It's really interesting. So they removed the crosshair drift and they decreased the recoil for the camera, which makes sense. It's just shooting gas. There shouldn't be much recoil at all. And then, like I said before, the gas status from spray weapons increased from 6 to 10 seconds. That's a big deal. This is really cool. Right here, the armor passives. So the devs listen to the player feedback, and they decided not to fix the bug where the Siege Ready armor passive gives everything more ammo. So they say it gives all magazines ammo to base weapons instead of just primary weapons as described. So essentially what they did was there's this armor buff, and when you use the armor, it was only supposed to give you more ammo to your primary weapon, but it accidentally gave it to all magazine-based weapons, including your stratagems, and that was a huge buff that everybody really loved. So now they are just making it a real thing. They didn't fix it, and they said that in the future they're going to be changing the armory description to reflect that it works on the stratagems as well. So that's a cool one. That's a good win for the players. Here we go. This is with the dog breath gas guard dog. So it now preserves ammo by prioritizing enemies unaffected by gas status effect. So essentially, it's going to be hunting enemies who have not been hit with the gas. And if they have been, they've got that 10-second duration before they're going to be hit with the gas again. So what this is saying, that they redid its logic so that it will prioritize enemies that are not hit with the gas and spread it further instead of just finding one enemy and spraying it with gas really intently and then coming back and reloading. That was a waste. Now it's going to cover up the whole area, and I think that'll be pretty cool. They also did a rework where they're preventing the drone from wandering too far. I never really had that issue, but I'm glad that that's fixed. Here's something that I'm a little confused about. I'm not sure how this will work, but it said the targeting range has been increased from 10 meters to 20 meters. So does that mean it's going to be shooting the gas further, or is it going to be traveling out 20 meters and then shooting enemies over there, but make sure it's within 20 meters of your body, essentially? So because they don't want it traveling too far away. I think it should be 20 meters away. Fly to the enemy, start spraying it with gas, and work your way around within 20 meters of the player. Only because the gas will eventually hit the player if the thing is just staying way too close. And as funny as that is, I'd rather it be useful. But then the other thing that they did was the duration of gas effects increased from 6 to 10. So that works with the guard dog too. They also did the mines as a rework. They decreased the cooldown on all of them from 180 to 120 seconds. So it's 2-minute cooldown. That's pretty good. I don't really see a lot of people using mines. I don't think it's because of the cooldown time. I think it's because of the blowing up your teammates and blocking off pathways. That's just me. But they increased the damage of the personnel mine from 350 to 700. I feel like that's a huge increase in damage, and that should really change. That should change a lot of use applications for it, because that'll. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how much damage anything really takes, but that seems really significant. So that's cool. But this is the most important part, is the deployment spread of the mines is increased by 20% to minimize the risk of chain explosions. That was a big issue, because one enemy would step on a mine and it would blow up all of the mines in the area, making it a complete waste. This is really cool. I'm glad they did that. The other thing they did was the incendiary mines are increased their damage to 300 from 210. They also got an increased spread, and then the anti-tank, they did not get a damage increase or a spread. So I kind of wish they did, but I don't know if it needed it. Like I said, mines don't really get a lot of action, so it's hard to tell. But this is a long awaited for with the ballistic shield backpack. So now the ballistic shield that only a few people ever used, mostly because it doesn't block melee attacks. Now they finally changed it so that the ballistic shield now blocks melee attacks until it takes enough damage to break. But that is huge. I think that's a great addition to the game that was really needed all the way back at the beginning. I'm glad it's finally in here because that shield is going to get a lot more love, especially with all the SMGs that are out there now. They've also allowed you to, like I said, emote again while you're falling or ragdolling if you get launched a long distance. But it's not going to reduce fall damage any longer. It's more just for the memes. You're still going to take full damage. Like I said, nothing a stim can't fix. You just need to survive, that's all. The Illuminate spawner shields are top priority fixes. They're not taking impact grenade damage right now, which is causing a problem with everyone who uses impact grenades, which is a lot of you. So we've got fixed issues with collision gaps in the ships. There's a lot of other issues that they're working on. But I think the main ones are the exciting ones at the top. You know, a lot of them, they don't really like the known issues and things like this. It's not that big a deal. I would say the only other thing is, you know, these weapon and stratagems, you know, opening and closing text chat doesn't change your weapon and you get to stay in the emplacement like normal. The arc weapons are hitting impalers like they're supposed to. Anti-tank emplacement is doing all its correct things now. Stratagem turrets are not shooting things like the Illuminate Tesla towers, like they're not supposed to. Melee weapons should no longer send civilian vehicles and other objects flying long distances, which I never got to try and I never seen. So if anybody knows, that'd be really cool. But yeah, that's been fixed. And the supply backpack, another big one, supply backpack now provides stims for other players. Which I thought it always did that, but maybe I was wrong. But either way, those are the big fixes. I know they call it a really big patch of 2025. I don't think it's that big, but it was a lot of good changes that I think will just move the game in the right direction, and I'm excited to see it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see any more of this content. Not just Helldivers. If you have any other ideas, please let me know, and I'll try and get to everything I can. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.